Right, so today's video is a little blast from the past because we're actually revisiting a creator we spoke about quite a while ago at this point. And to be more specific, the person we're talking about is actually Vegan Rizz, a TikToker called Adrielle Sigler, I believe, with about 800,000 followers. Now, if you're hearing that name and you sat there like, okay, right, I do remember that name, but I'm not exactly sure why, let me just refresh your memory dead quick. Now, there's a lot of reasons why people have previously spoke about Vegan Rizz, but one in particular that went big about 5 months ago at this point was when Vegan Rizz was filming in a coffee shop. She was then asked to stop filming in a coffee shop, and then she proceeded to try and sue them for like defamation or something like that.
Vegan Rizz is still upset they asked her not to film. So what's she gonna do now?
I'm going to file a lawsuit.
So she calls an attorney.
I have a question about my legal standing.
But they don't answer and she's gotta leave a message. Now, what does she plan on suing the coffee shop over? Discrimination.
Since I am an attractive woman,
Discrimination.
it bothers you. And that's sexism.
And Vegan Rizz is not playing around.
Because I'm a young, attractive female. Just because I'm a young, attractive female, it drives them crazy.
Yeah, so her big thing was that she was going to sue them for discrimination because she's a young, attractive female. That was her reasoning. Which is obviously an insane reason to try and sue someone for. I don't have to explain that to you, but there's also a bunch more stuff of like Adrielle like begging for money a lot from her followers for like reasons that people believe she shouldn't be begging for money for. It also seems like she posts a bunch of like rage bait content constantly, just trying to get people angry. Maybe it's not rage bait, maybe that's genuinely just her opinions. It's a bit worrying if it is. But recently there's been a really big topic going around TikTok where people have many different opinions, where Adrielle has been talking about a situation that her son was in. Now, I don't really want to stick with the situation specifically on what happened because it's really sad. Long story short, basically, her son ended up getting like beat up by other people in his school. She claims that he was jumped. The school and like other people involved, like the children's like sisters and mothers who came forward and said that he didn't get jumped. It's actually for a much more serious reason. It's like an arranged fight as well. The much more serious reasons I'm referring to here is that there's like really serious allegations, like with essay and stuff against her son. But like I said, I don't want to go into it because I don't know what's true, right? And I don't want to put that on people. I'm just saying what other people in the situation have said. But it will make sense why I have to mention this situation because it ties into the whole like begging money stuff and the way she's kind of like acted since this that people seem to be like really annoyed about. So the first video I can find of Adrielle talking about this is this one in particular where she goes on to show one of the kids' faces who's involved in this fight, and then she actually says that like her son nearly lost his life because of this.
My son has a chipped tooth now because of this kid right here. This is where my son was assaulted and almost lost his life. I thought they were in that new splash pad. They were actually right here in a very old swimming pool that once existed in the 1950s.
Okay, so she shows the location. In other videos, she also shows like parts of the videos that are around of like this fight. Obviously not going to show that for very obvious reasons. But what I will mention is, and this is another reason why people are like really annoyed at Adrielle over the situation, is that seemingly the situation changed from like he nearly lost his life to he has like minor head injuries.
My son does not want to be on camera. He does not want to talk much about this. He is suffering through a minor head injury right now, and do you have anything to say to the audience watching these videos following this story?
Yeah, so like as she just said right there, he doesn't want to be on camera, he doesn't really want to say anything. She then proceeds to kind of like interview him in this video. I'm not really going to show that because he clearly doesn't want to be on it. She was also recording TikToks in the hospital. A lot of the comments were saying like, why are you filming TikToks at this point? This is not a time to be recording videos.
That thing with the teeth had me so afraid.
It's okay.
I'm glad you're okay.
And yeah, clearly, either way, even if she did over-exaggerate the injuries, which, I mean, to be fair, if you're a mother and your son is, like, being beat up, you are going to worry and you're going to think of, like, the extremes. But yeah, regardless of if she did over-exaggerate, because that seems to be what a lot of people are claiming here, it is clearly still a horrific thing to happen to anybody, never mind a child. I obviously don't know the specifics of what happened, but we do have the school's response and what they claim had happened later on in the video. Now, another reason why people have been criticizing Adrielle over this, before we get to like the main thing here, is that she has made loads of videos about this, but in between these videos where she's clearly very upset about the situation, understandably so, she then will post like a video like this, for example.
Sticking out my yacht for the Rizzler. So skibbity. So phantom tax, I just wanna be your Sigma.
Yeah, I don't even know how to explain what we just watched there. She then went on to respond to the people who came out and said that there was like a reason behind this fight with obviously very serious allegations, and she then went on to compare it to Sandy Hook.
My son's assault, my 14-year-old son's assault, has become a Sandy Hook conspiracy theory.
I mean, yeah, you can clearly tell why people would be absolutely fuming with this comparison. It's a crazy thing to say. She was then also posting more videos, like genuinely she posted, it looks like about 40 to 50 videos about this situation, where she would put like scary TikTok music in the background.
The boys who brutally assaulted my son premeditated the assault.
Which is just a bit of an odd thing to do, right? Like, why are you putting the scary music in the background over a situation that's very serious? But yeah, as we can see by the screen right now, we can see that it says GoFundMe in the bio. Now, this is where a lot of the criticism has came in. Because as we can see right here, Adrielle has made a GoFundMe that she has mentioned in countless amounts of videos at this point, saying that she needs an emergency move for safety, and she's raising $30,000. Now, there's quite a few points that people are making about this specifically. First of all, being that $30,000 seems to be like way more than it actually costs to move to a different state. Second thing being that Adrielle constantly talks about in her videos how much money she makes. She's even made videos literally just in April, so last month, saying that she'd spend $17,000 that month.
This month I spent close to $17,000. $17,000. I'm a single stay-at-home mom of 3, so I'm financially responsible for 3 little humans.
And yeah, obviously it is very expensive to look after 3 people, right? Your 3 kids. But $17,000 is incredibly high. I mean, obviously, like most people in the world don't earn $17,000 to spend in a month. But then on top of that, as I briefly mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is something that Adrielle does a lot in her videos, is ask her audience for money. Like, here's an example right here where she made a GoFundMe to get braces for her son.
I created a GoFundMe for my son. I'm raising $5,700 for his braces.
So not only is this a very common thing, a lot of people are criticizing Adrielle because she clearly makes a lot of money. She spends $17,000 in a month and then she's making GoFundMes for things like braces. And then yet again, here's another example where she was raising money to buy a house.
Hi, Adrielle. You think it's appropriate, again, to ask all your followers to tip you so you can buy a house on TikTok because you're scared of someone in the basement? You already brag about how you make $20K a month. You already say how you get food stamps and housing. You literally have a worry-free life from what I'm seeing.
So yeah, as you just heard in the video, there was apparently like a time where she was claiming that there was someone like in a basement or something. I don't really know what the conclusion of that was. I don't think there was in the end, but I could be wrong. Also, this person claims that Adrielle has said that she makes $20,000 a month. Again, you can see why people would be frustrated that she constantly asks for money. Also, on top of that, in a lot of her videos, she will just put like her Cash App on screen and like ask for donations, as we can see right there. So you get the gist, right? This is kind of something that she does quite a lot on TikTok. So from what I'm saying, this isn't me saying this, I'm just saying what the comments are saying. A lot of the comments are basically claiming that Adrielle is using the situation with her son that is horrific, right? And she's using it as a way to get like a stupid amount of money. That's what a lot of people are claiming. Now, Adrielle did upload a couple of videos where people from the school actually came to her home to speak about the situation, where she was pretty aggressive. She ended up deleting these videos.
Hi, okay, so I just want to say foremost, I am recording this entire interview. Second, my son only has permission to answer yes or no questions without a lawyer present. Third, I will reiterate Sven's assault and then show you the video footage that was forwarded to me.
Yep, that sounds good.
If you'd like to
Great.
have a seat at the kitchen
Oh,
table.
the camera is going to be there if you don't prefer to be on camera. Mom, please don't talk until it's your turn to ask questions.
Yeah, also, there's like a big theme with her videos. She talks to her mum like shit, I can't lie. Like, I mean, we'll see more of it in this video.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would you like a glass of water?
No, we don't talk because we are busy.
Okay.
My son almost lost his life, so just emotions are high.
Okay.
I'm going to
Here's
start.
what I'm going to do. I'm not really quite sure what my plan is for all of this. So I'm going to go back to my home base.
Yeah, so the teacher who did come to the house clearly feels very uncomfortable with everything that's happening with, like, because she's obviously speaking pretty aggressively, she was recording and whatnot, she's being aggressive towards her mother. So the teacher wasn't comfortable and decided to leave. But there's another video, and in this video in particular, it is apparently the principal and the resource officer that has showed up to her home.
Okay.
If you have any questions, I'm going to reiterate what happened, and then you can ask Sven yes or no questions.
Okay. So what I have here is a letter.
Okay.
This letter right here. So basically, in our investigation, okay, we interviewed many of the parties involved, and it's 2 things. What happened to Sven is terrible, and we are working within our code of conduct, and we are also working with law enforcement, okay, with regard to that. However, in our investigation, it was determined, which is why I kind of wanted to get Sven's side of things, but that the fight was prearranged, that they met at the park to fight the other young man.
Okay, so as you just heard right there, I don't know if this is the principal or the resource officer that's speaking, but they're saying that through their investigation they found out that it's prearranged. I assume there's probably like messages to prove that or something like that. Adrielle doesn't seem to believe that.
Now, Sven, is that true? Yes or no? Did you consent to it? No. Did you? No. What was the premise of you outside when you saw those group of people? Were they being friendly and kind to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So in our investigation, it was determined that kids knew that Sven was aware of it, that it was predetermined, and that kids knew to come to it because they knew it was going to happen at the park, and so therefore that occurred. So he squared up with another student and got into a fight.
But yeah, the video carries on where he's explaining more of the situation, more of kind of what we just heard right here, and then it seems like he just kind of gets to a point where he's just kind of done with the situation. We'll see that now.
Law enforcement also has this documentation right here. I went to the police department today. Sven had lots of dental work done, and Sven has been suspended.
Very sorry for this.
Sven has been suspended and punished for an incident that resulted in the fact he almost lost his life. These children who assaulted him have committed.
Call my office if you want to have a meeting with regard to what happened and how we can move forward. Okay, when Sven returns. Thank you.
These kids are professional criminals. They know what they're doing.
Okay, and that's pretty much the end of that video, so you can make your own mind up of what you think about that. Now, one of the girls who was there, who I believe is like 12-year-old, her big sisters actually made like TikTok videos responding to all of this, claiming that because of these videos that Adrielle has posted, they're starting to get like loads of threats. I mean, she shows this comment right here where someone's talking about her sister and says, "Jump her the fuck," because someone else in the comments said like they knew her. She also received messages from someone in her family saying, well, there's going to be more because someone just walked by her house threatening to burn it down. Like, clearly this has turned into like an incredibly disgusting situation. It's bad all around. Again, like I said before, the situation itself, I don't know the specifics what happened, obviously, but clearly the big criticism from all of this has been the way that Adrielle has responded to everything and is making like the GoFundMe and then like the little like comedy videos in between, all these serious videos. People seem to believe it's really strange behavior. They don't understand why she's doing the stuff that she's doing. Obviously, the past stuff that she's done as well hasn't helped her with all of this. But yeah, I mean, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on everything that I spoke about in today's video. More specifically from Adrielle's side, that is kind of like the main point here. Like I said, the situation itself, we don't know exactly what happened because it's kind of just a load of stories coming from different people. But yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. Obviously, don't send messages to anybody involved in this situation. That goes for all my videos. But I just wanted to make it very clear in this one specifically because clearly there are a lot of people on TikTok who are sending horrible messages. So obviously, don't do that. It goes without saying. And yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, goodbye.